In Stoic philosophy, the sages emphasized a simple but powerful idea. Instead of having inflated expectations of others or yourself, focus on action. Do what needs to be done. Do it well. Then accept the result for what it is. When you pin your hopes on things like praise, fast results, or recognition, you're placing your happiness in the hands of factors beyond your control. And when things don't go your way, it's easy to feel discouraged, angry, or to give up. Calmness cannot exist in a mind that is constantly disappointed. Lower your expectations not to live passively, but to live more deliberately and peacefully. When you stop obsessing over outcomes, you can channel your full energy into action. And when your focus is fully on action, you naturally perform better with more depth and intention. The story of James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, is a clear example. Before becoming a major name in the self-development world, he was a baseball player who suffered a serious head injury. He didn't set lofty goals like become a famous author or fully recover at all costs. Instead, he focused on small daily actions, reading books, jotting down thoughts, and writing blog posts, even if just a few hundred words. Without chasing spectacular success, he steadily built value, and the results came later as a natural reward for the process. Calm doesn't come from controlling everything. It comes from accepting that you can't. When expectations drop, you see more clearly what you can do right now, and action is the only thing that can truly lead you to a meaningful version of success. What do you think about this? Has expectation ever led you to disappointment? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd really love to hear your story. 5. The power of silence. Silence. It's clear that silence holds power. Like any form of power, it can be used to harm or to heal. And perhaps that's why people react to it so differently. Some fear it as an unbearable void. Others treasure it as a sacred space for recovery and reflection. In Stoic philosophy, silence isn't just the pause between words. It's a tool for self-mastery, for listening more, understanding deeper, and responding with wisdom. We're often caught in the urge to speak, to react, to reply instantly. But a wise person doesn't let that urge take control. Silence is a sign of inner strength. It gives us space to observe, to fully grasp the situation, and to see what others can't in the heat of the moment. Staying silent doesn't mean doing nothing. It means stepping back for a moment so we can move forward with greater clarity and calm. When you choose not to speak right away, you're giving yourself a chance to manage your emotions. That's the moment when you shift from reacting to responding, from instinct to intellect. We're most prone to mistakes when we're angry, anxious, or provoked. But if you can stay silent in that moment, you're winning against yourself. And that, according to Stoicism, is the most important victory of all. Picture yourself as a customer service agent just finishing a long, stressful shift. A customer calls in clearly furious, not just complaining about the service, but using harsh personal language. Your instinct might be to push back, to defend yourself, maybe even hang up just to protect your dignity. But if you choose to stay silent for a few seconds, holding back your first reaction, you're taking control. You take a deep breath. You let the person vent. You don't agree with their words, but you understand that reacting impulsively will only make things worse. And when their voice finally softens, you respond not from emotion, but from professionalism and kindness, focusing on solving the problem. The result? You don't just diffuse the tension, you make that person feel respected and heard, which is often what they need more than a fight. Silence isn't weakness, it's quiet strength. The strong person isn't the one who talks the most, but the one who knows when to speak and when to stay silent. The calm person understands that not every battle needs to be won with words. Sometimes the real win is keeping the peace, holding on to yourself, and staying focused on what truly matters. Stoicism doesn't tell you to become cold. It teaches you to pause, to know when words are necessary and when silence is wiser. Every time you choose silence over an impulsive reaction, you're training self-control, one of the core virtues that lead to real success. Thank you for staying with this video until now. We've made it halfway through. And if you're still here, it means you're genuinely serious about becoming a better version of yourself. Let's move on to the next part where we'll learn how to face uncomfortable emotions and grow from them. And don't forget to leave a comment saying, "I will live a better life," as a reminder of your commitment and to help build a strong, positive, and inspiring Stoic community together. 6. Accept discomfort and grow from it. Accept discomfort and grow from it. We often crave comfort and ease, but on the journey of growth and true success, it's in the difficult, uncomfortable moments that we learn the most about ourselves. Embracing discomfort and growing from it is a powerful reminder from Stoicism. It doesn't promote blind endurance, but encourages us to face challenges with calmness, openness, and a willingness to learn. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He wasn't talking about avoiding hardship. He was showing us how to turn obstacles into stepping stones. When we face adversity, our minds tend to retreat to seek safety. But if we can pause, observe calmly, and understand our emotions and the situation, then in that very moment of hardship, we may discover a new path. Sometimes the only path that leads to real growth. Picture an athlete who just lost an important match. The defeat leaves them embarrassed and full of self-doubt. If they rush to avoid that feeling of disappointment, they'll likely repeat the same mistakes. But if they have the courage to sit with the sadness, to accept that imperfection is a natural part of the journey, they'll start to see what needs improvement, what technique is shaky, which strategy failed, how their mindset reacted under pressure. From accepting that uncomfortable feeling, they learn what easy wins could never teach them. Resilience, growth, a solid foundation for future success. Stoicism teaches us that calmness is not indifference, but the ability to recognize emotions without being swept away by them. When challenges arise and we observe our inner world with clarity, asking the right questions. What can I learn from this? Is this within my control? We transform pain into knowledge, loss into drive. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Success doesn't come from walking smooth roads. It comes from the ability to keep moving on the rough ones. Staying calm helps us resist being overwhelmed by negative emotions. And it's in accepting discomfort that we become stronger, deeper, more human. In Stoicism, nothing is meaningless, not even pain, if we know how to use it to understand ourselves, to improve, and to stay true to our long-term goals. So, next time you feel uncomfortable, confused, or disappointed, don't rush to push it away. Look directly at it because just beneath that discomfort, there may be a valuable lesson waiting for you to uncover. 7. Practice gratitude. There is a quiet, yet deeply practiced gratitude, resilient force that exists in each of our lives. Gratitude. When the outside world feels chaotic, when expectations weigh us down, and when fear of failure looms large, it is gratitude that pulls us back. It reminds us that no matter how things unfold, we still have so much worth holding on to. In Stoic philosophy, gratitude isn't just a fleeting feeling, it's a daily practice, one that grounds us, clears our minds, and strengthens us from within. We often get caught in the endless loop of not enough, not rich enough, not skilled enough, not fast enough. The more we chase, the more restless we become. But gratitude does the opposite. It teaches us to notice what is instead of what's missing. When you pause to breathe, to give thanks for a good meal, for a ray of warm sunlight, or simply for the quiet presence of a loved one, you're allowing yourself to live in the moment. You stop running after what isn't there, and that's when true calm begins to take root. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours. His words are a gentle yet piercing reminder. Don't get so lost chasing what you don't have that you forget what you already hold today, if taken away. Would be what you long for the most. That wisdom holds just as true. Now, it not only humbles us, but also protects our minds from being swept away by the storm of ambition. And if you believe in God, gratitude is not just a personal emotion, it is a sacred act. Every thank you whispered to life is also a hymn of praise to the one who gave you breath, love, and even the challenges that help you grow. In the quiet of prayer, we don't just find comfort, we connect to something greater than reason. And from that connection comes the strength to keep going. You don't need a grand reason to be grateful. Sometimes 3 minutes at the end of the day is enough to write down 3 things that made you smile. A surprise message from an old friend, an afternoon without rain, a moment of peace in the middle of the chaos. These small things slowly build a steady mindset, one that keeps you grounded through life's ups and downs and brings you closer to a kind of success that isn't loud but lasting. If you're already practicing gratitude in your own way,